I don't know when it started, but the sound of scientific switches. It seems there are only two types, the jade shaft and the silent shaft. The representative of emerald switches is definitely the switches made by Venus Jupiter. Starting from the shadow of the wind. Even now, good shafts keep emerging. As for wanting to buy a jade scroll now, my first reaction was to look for switches made by Jupiter. The dull switch means I personally prefer a continued slide. However, this major factory currently rarely produces custom switches. How do you say the Huime Star and Kenjik silent switches? It always feels a bit off. The main feature of this video, the nylon switch, in terms of sound, it was the feeling of the emerald shaft. But to be honest, it's not the mainstream type of extreme high-frequency, sharp and hot jade. A bit like the feeling from a few years ago in the classics and liberal arts department like graphite gold and Tao Yaowei. Second, this type is solid and resonant without being sharp, which is very interesting. Let's listen to this typing sound together. This switch also lives up to its name, made entirely of nylon. It's also very pure. Graphite gray shell, vintage white shaft. The built-in light guide post is somewhat different from the common small clips. It's also a custom mold for the group leader Xiaolin. The light guide part is basically hollowed out. So although this switch has a dark, opaque shell, but the light effects are very good. So I became an RGB fan. The second feature is the removal of the bottom casing clip because the material blends contain a relatively high bowing content. Relatively hard. Avoiding direct phone tracking panels, this approach is very thoughtful. The advantage is that it feels very comfortable when inserting and climbing. The downside is that when you put on the sword cap, it feels a bit of a roll and crawl. He took the sword cap with him as well. The sound is, as it was said at the beginning, quite retro. It doesn't have the sharp, crisp, high-frequency sound. So the performance of this shaft sliding cap after the full kit is, it even leans a bit toward a mid-range feel. But when you switch to the faceless sword grip and cap, Xiaowei hides it for a moment and then comes up. Personally, I think it's more suitable for matte keyboards and very pleasant to listen to. But pure European quality fans just shake their heads when they see the light guide pillar. However, compared to the light guide pillar on the Huanhua light shaft, you could say it's easy to disassemble anyway. Just find something to lightly support it. The feel is also a plus, although it's made of Qianqialong material, but I didn't imagine the strange friction between materials. The feel is extremely smooth to use, not greasy. It's quite dry with no sandy feeling, which is quite magical. There is even a feeling of no friction. At the same time, or yield is very well controlled. The feel of the block without pressure isn't excessive. Huang can be said to satisfy everyone. It is also close to fully formed, around 3.8 magnitude completed. A compatible top cover was also made for the rear cap. No need to worry about the problem of card building caps. You could say that there is no equivalent on the market right now. The substitute price is around 1.75 yuan. From Zhezhai to Guangzhou, personally I feel it's definitely worth experiencing. That's all for this video. Follow me. See you in the next video.